Some animals, such as dogs, are well known for their keen senses, which can detect many things in their surroundings that people cannot. People have found a variety of uses for them, including sniffing out drugs, explosives, and a variety of other things, due to their high responsiveness to training. However, illness detection, or more especially, cancer detection, is a more new and extremely promising area of research in which animals are being used. Dogs aren't the only animals showing promise in this field. Here are 5 animals that may be able to detect cancer in humans. Rats. In 2021, Korean researchers published a report demonstrating that trained rats could detect toluene, an odor-producing substance that can signal the presence of lung cancer. You might be wondering how rats can convey what they smell to humans, and the answer is a little strange. The researchers trained the rats to leap onto a floating ledge whenever they smell toluene. To make the study more realistic, the rats were not merely given samples of toluene followed by a series of different odors. They were shown real human breath samples that had been gathered by humans breathing into plastic bags and then sealing them. The scientists later contaminated some of these samples with toluene. After over 1,000 tests, the rats detected toluene with an accuracy of roughly 82%. Bees. Not only mammals, but even insects may be capable of assisting humans in the diagnosis of dangerous diseases. Bees are said to have a great sense of smell that can detect even a few molecules of a material in a room, and they have already been used to identify diseases such as tuberculosis and diabetes. Furthermore, they can be trained much faster than animals such as dogs. Their antennas allow them to detect individual odors more accurately within a mixture of simultaneous smells, as would be the case with human breath samples. Susana Soares, a Portuguese product designer, was working on her master's degree when she created Bees, an elegant glass device that allows people to breathe safely into a chamber containing bees that have been trained with a sugar reward to respond to the detection of certain chemicals. Pigeons. In an unusual, if not downright bizarre, experiment, researchers in the United States sought to see if pigeons could diagnose breast cancer from photos. Surprisingly, they performed just as well as humans. They accomplished this despite having a brain the size of a fingernail. Their minds, on the other hand, are pretty powerful, especially when it comes to imagery. They have been demonstrated to be capable of recalling up to 1,800 photos and distinguishing between people, facial expressions, and even letters of the alphabet. Pigeons in the cancer study were trained to distinguish between disease and non-cancerous tissues using microscope images, with correct replies rewarded. They were able to utilize what they had learned and accurately identify between the photos when given with unknown images, even when the images were zoomed in or out or discolored. The pigeons are considered to be useful in validating future image-based cancer detection systems. Ants. Ants, like bees, have incredibly sensitive antennae that allow them to detect chemicals that humans cannot detect. Specific chemicals generated by malignant tumors, as we now know, can have different odors. However, breath isn't the only bodily discharge where these compounds can be found. The chemicals also exist in urine, and scientists discovered in 2023 that ants were quite precise in detecting these molecules in mouse pee. Ants may offer a less expensive and less invasive method of early cancer detection. But how can one teach ants to detect the presence of chemicals? They, like the other animals on this list, were trained using rewards. It was sugar water in this situation. When the researchers stopped providing the ants sugar water, the ants lingered a little longer in the presence of the carcinogenic substances in the urine samples because they were anticipating their reward. Dogs. Okay, man's best friend has to make the list someplace. With a sense of smell that is thought to be 10,000 to 100,000 times stronger than ours, it is not surprising that dogs can detect cancer as well. Dogs, like the ants and bees mentioned before in this article, may detect cancer in ejected materials such as breath and urine. Furthermore, they can identify cancer while it is still in situ, indicating that it has not spread from the original spot where it began. This is fantastic news since early detection is critical, because cancer is far more difficult to treat once it has spread. Dogs have been trained to detect cancer in breath, plasma, urine, and saliva, and it takes approximately 300 samples for them to acquire the smell and apply it to fresh, unseen samples. While some organizations employ the dogs to detect cancer directly, other researchers are studying their talents in order to help design a mechanical nose that will detect cancer in the same way while leaving the dogs alone.